he feels that it is very difficult for him to explain to people what the significance of the ultimate moral theological choice is. He feels that people that haven't suffered for what they believe almost have no right to it. That you earn your deserts, that you earn your stripes as an intellectual by not only thinking problems through, but feeling them through. Romantic intellectuals like feeling over reason. They like grand and beautiful emotions. They emphasize sentiment. If you think of Charles Dickens's novels, if you think of Berlioz's music, too much of everything. They have no sense of proportion, but they have lovely sentiments. Well, Kierkegaard has no sense of proportion and has very frightening sentiments. They have horrific sentiments, but they have their unique appeal. So in the volume 1, in the Ether, he writes from the perspective, in the first volume of the Ether, he writes from the perspective of the aesthetic man and explains to us what it's like to be us. It's one distraction after another to prevent you from seeing the vacuum of your existence. He says that's why you pursue pleasure and novelty all the time, because the real evil or the real misery in the life of the aesthetic man is boredom. The world is full of nothing, and that we fill this nothing up with trivialities like human culture. You feel the breath of infinite spaces in this guy. He lives in a kind of interstellar space of the soul that has nothing in it. And he says, the problem is that you think that about me because I'm such a perverse writer, but in fact it's all true about you. Kierkegaard believes that if anyone were to actually become conscious of what it means to be an aesthetic man, to be constantly pursuing new flavors, new tastes, new sensations, new experiences, you would just get it over with now. It's so horribly boring that the boredom would drive you just to exterminate yourself. That's the active rather than the passive form of the aesthetic man. Now, in addition to this either, and it's a grim either, now let's try the or, the better alternative. Let's try what it means to be the moral man. Well, if you're going to be the moral man, you're going to follow the dictates of conscience, not because you worked out some kind of logical system that tells you that the CI, the categorical imperative, is really obligatory upon all rational agents. If you do it for that reason, you're really an aesthetic man, because you're doing it because it pleases your vanity of thinking that you're such a clever guy. Instead, you do what you're told because that's your position in the world. That's what the real human condition is. What's agonizing about this is that the same God that gave us the capacity to reason put us in a circumstance where reasoning won't help us, because we have to make the criterion-less choice between the either and the or.